Hello, MavMind Collective, and welcome to another episode of the HypnoSellers Show. Today, I'm going to be talking about understanding team performance, ROI. Are you getting back the results you expect from your team? If you're on a team, do you feel like you're contributing in kind of, giving back to the company and to your leader in the way that they expect you to? Are they getting back that return on investment, right? That's what an ROI stands for, return on investment. So when it comes to team performance, I think we all need to think about it as to what we put into it. Are we getting back out of it what we expect? Or at least understanding when are we going to break even and get back out equally what we put into it, okay? So that's what ROI usually is for. If you are working as a customer with a customer-facing team where everyone on your team is customer-facing, or you yourself are in a customer-facing role, like most people that follow this channel are, chances are you understand what ROI is. You've had to do this for customers. You've had to figure out with a customer and help them calculate what is the value and what is the return that they get back for the investment in your product or service. So that's what you do with customers, but I also encourage you to think about doing this with your team itself. So if you're on the team or you're leading a team, what kind of return on investment are you getting from working with the people on the team? And when I mean by return, I mean like productivity return and effectiveness. What kind of effectiveness level are you getting back from them? What type of reward are you getting back personally and professionally as a result of sacrificing your time, effort, and ability to help them be successful? Because if you're leading a team, you want to help your team be successful and be productive, but you also want to make sure that they're being productive and successful themselves, because you're a reflection of the team, your team's performance. So you should always be thinking about what type of return am I going to get? So I've got 3 different models here, which just comes from the investing world that I use to think about and frame the concept of investment in my team and what kind of return I'm going to get back. So it's just no different than investing like with using a bank, using stocks, or investing in a small business. So that's the 3 we're going to talk about here today. So savings account. So one way to look at it metaphorically, each person on your team is a different bank account. So you have multiple bank accounts, and you can't withdraw anything from that bank account unless there's funds in the bank account, in the savings account. So think of it like you save over time, so that way you can withdraw at the end when you need that return, when you need that revenue. Okay. Now again, I'm not talking about actual revenue. I'm not talking about actual, they're not actual bank accounts. It's just metaphoric. It's a way to think about, like, are you investing the right amount of time, effort, and ability in order to make withdrawals later, in the future? So for example, when you hire somebody new, I always think of new hires as bank accounts. New bank accounts I've just opened. They have no funds in there. I have to invest my time and effort into that. I have to make deposits basically into the savings account regularly over time, knowing that in the future I'm going to make a withdrawal. And when I make a withdrawal, what that means is I'm going to ask that new hire to start performing some tasks, start executing on solving some problems for me, or taking care of some processes that need attention. And that's what I hired them for their expertise to do those things. So I need to give them time in the beginning, so I invest my time and effort by helping them, supporting them, providing whatever answers to whatever questions they have, spend as much time as I can with them. Also get to know them one-on-one, invest some personal time too. It's not just about business. It's also, I want them to trust me. I want to do some trust building and create some loyalty between us, so I can ask them for bigger tasks and challenge them later, and they'll be more willing to say, yes, I'm going to help you, and I'm going to do the best I can, and they're going to give it their best effort to help you be successful and to help the team be successful, because you've invested so much time and ability, and you've built trust with them over time. So it's not just about investing like knowledge, departing knowledge to them and sharing, how to do stuff all the time. It's also getting to know them and getting them to trust you, you trust them, and build that trust between you and that employee, just like as if that's like a deposit into the bank account. Everything you do with that person is like depositing into a bank account, so that way you can withdraw appropriately later. So think of it like bank accounts, and I think that this will help you, especially with new hires, help you reframe how you work with your team to maximize the return on your investment from them. The second one here, stock portfolios. So if you're not familiar with stock portfolios, this is like where you invest into stocks of companies, public companies that have stock symbols, and you invest money, or you give it to a portfolio manager, and then they invest into usually what's called a mutual fund, which means it's a portfolio of many, many different stocks and across different areas to balance things out, and it sort of hedges their bet. In fact, some are called hedge funds, where they try to create a balance to where, if one stock goes down in value, another one comes up in value, and then it kind of balances out. And the idea is over time, you want all stocks to rise with the stock market. The stock market raises, like the tide that rises all boats. The stock prices eventually all go up if you've got the right stock. Now, you can think of this metaphorically, right? With your team are like different stocks. They're like different stocks, and your whole team is like your mutual fund. So I think of it as my team's my mutual fund. Where are my investments? How many more stocks do I want to buy? So every time you buy more stocks in a certain one, you increase your ownership of that stock, right? What they call your holdings. You increase your holdings of particular equity, and then over time you want to balance that out to where you have more of the ones that go up in price, and then you have less and less of ones that go down in price. So as you work with your team, think about where are you investing your time across the members of the team. Are you investing your time and effort and ability to help those that are struggling, or the ones that are just like doing fantastically well? So typically statistics show that you'll get more performance out of helping the ones that do well themselves versus spending the same amount of time helping someone that's struggling on your team. If they're struggling to be productive, and you have to spend a lot of cycles and a lot of time with them, it's probably you're better off spending more time with the person that does well, and that you can actually help them get more productivity out of their own efforts. Okay? Because a high performing individual, a rock star, so to speak, someone at the top of your rank, in this case, in this metaphor, a top portfolio stock is going to be one that the more you buy of it, the more it goes up. Okay, because it's hot. It's a hot stock. It's doing well. You want to put more time into that, and you want to catch it on the rise while it's going up. So you always want to treat your team like who am I spending the most time with, and am I spending the time with the right people that are giving me the most return the fastest? That's going up and increasing in value within my team, within the company, with the customers, and don't invest so much time in the ones that are not doing so well, because over the long run it doesn't help you. Even though you want to be fair, when I have a stock portfolio, it's not about fairness. It's about how can I maximize my return on investment. So again, think of it as each person's a stock, and where are you spending your time to invest in which stocks, and are they the right stocks to invest your time and effort in or not? And then the last one here, the metaphor is a small business. So you can do this a couple ways. You can think of your whole team as one small business. You can think of maybe groups of people on your team. If your team is large and you have 2 or 3, 4, 5 in a different function, maybe you're a high-level leader, you have different functions within your team, you can treat each function as if it was its own small business, okay? And the idea is that if you can imagine yourself being on the board of these small businesses, you're investing your time and effort to guide them and direct them, but you're pretty much leaving them to themselves as a small business to figure out the problems. So this is, again, if you're high level, you can give them a more autonomy, give them more direction, but then let them kind of do it the way they want so they can learn. You'll end up retaining a lot more people on your team this way by treating them like individually they're small businesses, and whatever their expertise is like a small business, and you're there to guide them like the board, get an update, figure out where like at QBRs, what's the quarterly update? Although maybe at your company it might be a weekly update, monthly update, something. But for the most part, you're kind of hands off. You let them run the business the way they want, either individually or as a group of functions, or the entire team. Just let the entire team kind of go the way they want. And then you're just acting like the board member and investing. You're like a venture capitalist. You're investing your time and effort for their success, but you're not telling them how to do anything. So you let them run it the way they want. So treating them like a small business can give them the freedom and the autonomy to execute the way they want, and also makes you more promotable. Like if you want to move to the next level, you want to get your team to where they can operate on their own without you. So that's like, in my mind, that's like one of the best returns on investments I could ever make, is when my team can operate like a small business, and then I'm promotable, and I can find my successor to take my place from that small business to take over as president when I move to on the board of a different company, for example, which would mean that I would move to a different team, or go solve a different problem within the company and take on a different role and challenge myself and grow my skills in a new way, which I think all leaders want to do. And so if you can treat your team like a small business, like a small company within the company, the better off you are for that return you would get personally and professionally for yourself, if you're ambitious and that's what you want. So again, these are the three different ways I like to look at how I invest in my team. Am I investing in them like a small business? Yeah, I think I do that. I want to do that as much as I can. Do I treat each one like a different stock in my portfolio? Yeah, I want to see which one should I invest time with that I think are going to do well, and I'm not going to invest as much in ones that are not going to perform well. And then if each of them a bank, a savings account, I can't withdraw anything until I invest. So new hires specifically, I need to invest time to really help them out in the beginning, so I can ask them to perform and solve maybe tougher problems later on, as they ramp and become more productive on the team and become part of the team, as if they'd been there for the whole time, which is how I want all my team members to feel. Like once they're ramped and they're ready to go, they feel like this is the best team they've ever been on. They feel like a unicorn team, and they're all contributing, and I can easily ask them for results that I need, and they will go and do that for me, just like I did for them in the beginning when I was investing in them.
Thank you for watching. I know you find value in these videos, didn't you? Now, if you, like me, are in a customer-facing role, you want to get better every day at what you do, but you don't have to watch another video if you don't want to.